Hold up. My views are my own. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Lightning round. Dangerously close.
I'm going to do my vocal warm-up first. I'm not the pheasant plucker. I'm the pheasant plucker's wife. I've been plucking pheasants my whole pheasant. Fuck. All right. My guest today is Martin Morrow. Martin is an LA beast. LA based. He's an LA beast. He's an LA hype beast. Martin is an LA based comedian, actor, and writer who has been on NBC's Last Comic Standing, Netflix's I Think You Should Leave, and Comedy Central. What's up, Morrow?
What up, man? How's it going?
I said your last name.
You said that like we were playing football.
Yeah. Good game. Spank you on the ass.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I Think You Should Leave, in my opinion, is right now. That's the funniest sketch comedy show on TV right now. Yeah. In my personal opinion. And you're in a really good sketch, the one that I saw. So you're in the dog ears.
Yes.
Haircut.
Yes.
That's just fucking funny.
Thank
you. Man, the world can be a strange and mysterious place, and sometimes even a little scary. And that's why the wise and talented Martin Morrow has joined me on the podcast to help make sense of everything, everywhere, all at once. And I don't mean the movie. I mean all the shit happening in the world. Do you want to just dive into some of the things that are like happening around us right now? Because
let's splash into it. Let's get in that pool.
I feel like it can be overwhelming for people, and that's why it's up to us, people like us, to just kind of like be like, hey, here's a little bit of like an in-depth analysis of like the world.
We're kind of heroes in a way when you think about it.
I often think about it, and I always call myself a hero.
Yeah, the world needs more male Americans.
Yeah. Don't worry, world, and also don't worry, Pennsylvania, because we're coming in hot to help you figure out what's going on in your town. This comes from the Associated Press, hot off the press. Enormous Lebanon bologna sandwich unveiled at Pennsylvania Community Fair. An enormous Lebanon bologna sandwich billed as one of the world's largest has been unveiled at a central Pennsylvania fair. My first question for you, man, is do you say bologna or bologna?
I say bologna.
I say bologna as well. And I think the word just needs to be changed. I think the spelling needs to just like bologna seems like pretentious.
Isn't it like Italian or something? It has like Italian roots from like some other type of meat.
Oh,
I could
that
also
makes
just be
sense.
1,000% making this up.
No, that makes sense. Like capicola. Okay, you're right. Okay, so yeah. I guess I don't want to offend our Italian friends across the pond if that's what. It's weird though, because like bologna is just like, it's hardly a food. It's hardly a meat.
I haven't had bologna in, I want to say, 20 some odd years.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, if not more. Yeah, I think that like I tried to. I used to eat Spam as a kid, just out of the tin. I would just suck it down.
No,
and then I think at some point, like after college, I was like, oh man, Spam, that brings back good memories. And I tried it. And I was like, this is disgusting. I don't know why I used to do this. My family let me do this, but
do you eat meat?
Yeah, I eat meat. I eat like
just not canned ass meat like Spam anymore.
Yeah, I mean, are we really trying to contend Spam as meat?
Isn't it like, doesn't it just say canned meat on the? It might not.
I think it says like I think it's like a shrug. I think it's canned shrug, guys.
Canned shrug. It's kind of like if you get Kraft singles, like the kind you make grilled cheese sandwiches out of. If you read it carefully, it says it's not cheese. It says cheese product.
Yeah, they're like, hey man, if you're looking for some cheese, don't come to us. We got some cheese stuff, some product of it, but don't. If you need cheese, we're not the one to play with.
I've only had Spam once that I can really recall. I was in Hawaii, and like Spam is huge out there, man. Like everybody, like even like restaurants like McDonald's changed their menu to like, and I went for a McDonald's breakfast and it was on the menu and I was like, fuck it, I'll try something new. And I couldn't even eat it. I took a bite and I was like, this is no. Oh shit, let's get back to Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They need our help.
Yeah.
The 150-foot long sandwich was created Tuesday night at the Lebanon Area Fair by a large crew of volunteers known as the Bologna Security. Why? Lebanon bologna is known for its distinct smoked and tangy flavor. I love how they're like telling us what bologna tastes like.
Well, I mean, we might not know what the Lebanese bologna tastes like, so maybe it's more so for the people outside of Lebanon. Is Lebanon Pennsylvania?
Yes, it is, because
also I was very thrown off at first. I was like, is this like a bologna only made in Lebanon? And then I kind of put it together that this is Lebanon, like it's how I have like Paris, Texas and stuff that.
We have a Paris, Tennessee here. We also have every Greek, like we have Athens and Crete. Yeah, dude, I was thinking, like, yes, this is like a Lebanese food, because that would like totally blow our whole theory that it's an Italian meat. But I think this is a place in Pennsylvania called Lebanon.
Yeah, it's a Lebanese Pennsylvania food. It's a delicatessen in Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
This confirms it. Every foot-long bite was sponsored at $100 per foot. The money was donated to Lebanon County Christian Ministries and their efforts to help people dealing with the food insecurity in Lebanon Valley. Well, that's actually, I don't have anything bad to say about that.
Yeah, it's a worthy cause, it seems. I mean, I don't know what they did, so let me not jump on it too quickly.
I mean, not to sound like I'm talking outside of school here, man, but I don't always trust things called like Lebanon County Christian Ministries or what they're up to is necessarily being good.
Yeah,
like, it's like, and also, what are you making the people do for their food insecurity? Are you making them eat this bologna sandwich? Because that's fucked up. That's not like a charitable thing to do.
It's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, there's something in my mouth now.
I'm still struck by the fact that the people that made the sandwich call themselves the Bologna Security. Penn Live reports that Bologna Security used 600 slices of provolone cheese and 1,200 slices of half-sweet and original Seltzer's Lebanon Bologna to create 900 sandwiches, or 6 sandwiches per foot. Fairgoers had a chance to enjoy the sandwich for free Tuesday night. Lebanon is 72 miles northwest of Philadelphia. So if you're in Philadelphia, bologna doesn't go bad quickly, does it? If you refrigerate it,
I think bologna it doesn't go bad because it starts bad. So I think it's not much upward trajectory from there. I mean, if it lasts long, then I think that's a bigger issue. if you have bologna from like 4 months ago, then you really got to get your life together.
All right, so guys, if you're in the city of brotherly love, I love your city. First of all, shout out Philly. If you're in Philly, yo, this is a quick hour drive, man, and you could get the world's biggest bologna sandwich in your mouth today. So
everyone's just like,
run, don't walk.
A bite. Yeah, this feels like how the next pandemic starts.
Yeah, dude, the bologna flu.
The bologna virus.
What have we learned, Martin?
We learned that Lebanon, Pennsylvania is a place.
We did learn that.
Yeah. We learned the origins possibly of bologna.
Yeah.
And we learned what to eat when you're not eating.
Yes. And I think questions open, the things we were not able to get to the bottom of, mostly for me, is why did the people of Lebanon, Pennsylvania that made the sandwich call themselves the Bologna Security?
Maybe they're protecting it from others.
It sounds nefarious.
Well, are they there to secure the sandwich, or are they there to secure us?
Yeah, it's just yeah. That would be a good like different name for the Proud Boys, like the Bologna Security, because they get all those. There's some good nicknames that people have come up with, like the Gravy Seals. That's funny, but
yeah,
Bologna Security works in there as well. Hey man, let's go down like a dark path real quick, man, because I'm thinking about like we do topical news events on here all the time, but you were doing a bit, man. This is during the submarine, the whole the billionaires dying on the submarine,
Yeah.
and you were talking about like you had maybe considered dying that week, but then you were like, no, I'm not going to have my death be like pushed out of the news cycle by a fucking submarine.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that was a true thing. That was a real thing. I had a little bit of a mental health scare. There was a someone who just kind of in the shadows fucking with me, and it got back to me, and I was like, I don't understand why this person won't leave me alone. And I'm prescribed Zoloft. I got diagnosed with depression, anxiety, PTSD, and paranoia back in 2017.
Yeah.
But the thing about paranoia is you're only paranoid if it's not true. So it's like, well, I'm not paranoid because this shit is actually happening.
Yeah.
So I got prescribed Zoloft, and then around December I was like, you know what, I kind of want a raw dog life. I think I'm going to try to not be on. I want to be able to feel again. I want to be able to like, have emotions and be sad or be angry or whatever, because I think that I deserve that. I think that's earned. I should have those feelings, and yeah, and then I thought I could handle certain moments better, and that was one of those things that kind of came up, and I was like home alone and was looking at these sleeping pills, and I was like, well, I wonder how many would be just the right amount or whatever, and then like I think I just thought about like my family and stuff like that, and friends of mine who were like, yo, we'd be fucking pissed. And then I thought about like if I killed myself, I wouldn't be like my news cycle would be like a day. Like I wouldn't have, because the submarine thing took over all of Twitter and Instagram. Is like they had music videos about it. It was in the news cycle. I was like, I might get like a Variety article at best. I don't know if and just a family that really misses me. So I'm like, I don't want to, I want to do that. I want to keep trying and just say fuck the haters, and now I'm going to thrive in spite of them. I'm going to do better in spite of them, and yeah, let that kind of be my takeaway.
Yeah, I like the way you put it too, man. Because you said you were thinking like, oh, like I might do this to try and like upset the people that are fucking with me, but then you like think about like, well, who actually is going to care? And those are your friends and people that matter. And I think you shouted out some people. And I was like, that's a really good take. And then honestly, I know it's a it comes from a place of comedy, but it also is true though. Like how fucking depressing would that be that like this goddamn submarine story like just washes you out of the news cycle?
Yeah, they're like, but these billionaires, like, you guys don't even like billionaires. Why are you still talking about them? What about me? What about me and my death?
And then another billionaire died like right after that doing some other stupid shit. There was like a billionaire that like wanted to be a race car driver, and he like crashed into a wall.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that they should try and find more dangerous shit to do, because it's like good for the planet. And
yeah, well, I want them to read us. I think if a billionaire dies in a ridiculous manner, then their money should be able to like fall from a plane over several cities. Yeah,
or like or to go straight to schools, like education. Be like, so you don't end up, if you do like make it, you won't be so stupid as these. I don't know. Dude, when you talk about the sleeping pills thing, man, I guess you're probably familiar with this term. You know the term intrusive thoughts?
Yes.
So this is I've heard this word. I've heard this term a bunch of times, but I never really knew what it was. I had a guest on. You might know her because I feel like you know everybody, man. And you knew Pat Johnson, who was on the show, and some other people. I saw that on Instagram. We have like a lot of mutuals. But Ellie Krimendahl was on, and she used to be a psychiatrist before she became a comedian.
Wow, that's a transition.
Yeah, I know. And I was listening to her some of her shit, and she like does like psychology style comedy on her show, and that's where I was learning about intrusive thoughts. And I was like, dude, I have these. I've been having one recently, man. I started running in the mornings again with my dog, and there's this crossing guard, and he's got a gun, and he's like it's like he brings like his own weapon to work. It's like not like, and he's got like his own holster. It's not snapped. And every time and he's always on his phone and not paying attention. And my brain is always like, grab that gun. Like it's always like, I always wanted this. It looks like so easy to snatch. He seems really uncoordinated. I was like, I could probably snatch his gun and run home. and without getting caught.
With
But
the dog. The dog would be an accomplice to this.
my dog is super fast, so we could totally. But that's an intrusive thought. In case anybody listening wondered what an intrusive thought is, this is
No,
really
I used to go to a lot of museums and stuff, and I picked up how like every museum just has like the oldest security guard. And I'm like, well, what is this guy gonna fucking do? Like, it's supposed to make me feel bad? Now I didn't want to steal art. Like I could steal so much art. This guy can't do shit. He's so old. So,
he like guilts you into not doing it because you're like, what if I had to push him down? Like I don't want to do that to this old man. Like he's just trying to like, he's probably on a fixed income. He can only do this a couple days a week. That's fucked up. Yeah. Well, hey, that was depressing. Let's get back into the news.
like someone's pep.
As though the news is not depressing.
Yeah.
Ooh, I found this one because I thought that I think this has a lot to say about like, the American experience. And this also comes from the Associated Press. Avid search for missing Texas rodeo goat, bringing residents of a small rural county together. I wonder if this is the small town that Jason Aldean's talking about that you can't go to or don't try things there.
Yeah, I still haven't heard that song yet.
Oh fuck that! I'll never listen to that shit.
Yeah,
I hate that guy.
I that's been like a rabbit hole of Jason Aldean things, but yeah, that's that's such a lame. Well, good for that. I guess to rally around a goat, like that's kind of
yeah. No, also
dead.
Look, I'm absolutely not. I am 100%. I want to let everyone in Raymondville, Texas, dude. I don't believe you're the small town that Jason Aldean is talking about. It's just that they said small town. But you know what? Here's the thing, man. People acted surprised, like when Jason Aldean like came out like racist, with his music, and I was like, what tipped me off way before was that he would wear a big cowboy hat and sing country music.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's almost like it's like in that world, if you're a white dude that wears country western wear and sings country, you're basically racist until proven innocent.
That's fair. That's a very fair assessment. Because which is good. I say that about a lot of people. I'm like, I'd rather you prove me wrong than
well, that's the thing.
I like black guys. Black dudes are cool. Like that's a song. I'm like, okay, this guy.
Is that a song?
No, this should be.
Oh, dude, we should write that song. We should co-write that. Is that is that allowed during the writer's strike? Because you're an actor, are you allowed to like write music?
You can write music. I can do like interviews and appearances. I just can't promote like a movie or TV show.
Okay. Oh shit! I shouldn't have said the show then.
Well, I don't think I didn't say it. You said it.
Yeah.
I just said thank you.
You did a really good job of like playing that. And also, I actually, since I do like stand with the unions and shit, I take that back, man. I hate that fucking show. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think it's gonna help me at all.
I'm backpedaling way too hard. Anyways, first there was Gone Girl, now there is Gone Goat. Man, you don't normally get this level of like puns from the Associated Press. The search for a rodeo goat has been missing the goat's been missing for more than a week, has the residents of rural South Texas County enthralled as they are using horses, ATVs, and even contemplating utilizing a helicopter to find the missing animal. Local businesses have donated nearly 90 prizes and gifts worth $5,000, including brisket, frescoes, and salon service as a reward for the person who finds the goat. Let's go, dude. Let's go to Raymondville.
Are we doing it? Is that where we're going to start making our country music debuts?
90 prizes, $5,000. We get fucking, I don't know what a fresco is. Do you know what a fresco is?
See, I was thinking Fresca, which is that like weird, is that a water of some sort?
Fresca? That's like a soda pop.
That's okay. That's what I was thinking.
My grandma used to have them. They're like kind of like Sprite. But yeah, you don't see Fresca a whole lot anymore. But yeah, when I was a kid, my grandma always had Frescas in the fridge, and I was like, "Can I have a Fresca?"
I don't know. Maybe it was like an offshoot of that.
All right, let's see what's going on here. This has just gotten bigger than we ever dreamed. Our county is a really small county, about 20,000 population, and a mostly agriculture, farming, and ranching community. and we're very much one big family. So we're excited that everyone wants to find our goat, said Allison Savage, president of the Willacy County Livestock Show and Fair. Sounds like a cult more than a town. I don't know. Do you kind of get that vibe?
Yeah, like they're trying to find that goat to sacrifice it.
Yeah, they either they sacrifice goats or perhaps they worship the goat because that's like Satan is a goat. I don't know. If
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Like Black Phillip in the Vivitch.
Yeah. Oh, the Vivitch.
Yeah.
I love the Vivitch.
Yeah.
Man, he made another movie. He made the Northman. Did you see that?
I didn't see the Northman, but I saw what's the Lighthouse? Is that what it was called?
I missed that one. Yeah. Well, no matter what way you slice it, whoever it is that makes the Vivitch is awesome.
Yeah.
But don't recall his name. Residents, including families, have been scouring cotton and sugar cane fields since the goat escaped from a pen in the county's rodeo arena near Raymondville on July 15th following a youth rodeo. On Sunday, possible goat tracks were spotted in a cotton field near Lyford, south of Raymondville. This is a lot of information. I think the goat's dead.
Yeah, the goat's definitely dead.
This goat is dead. You guys should not try to be together, bring yourselves together anymore. You should disperse. This crowd needs to disperse. Final quote from Savage. He's hiding from us somewhere, but we're getting closer. We're going to find him, Savage said. All right, man.
I can't tell it's because of how you read that or if it's just the words themselves, but that felt very ominous. Like they really are. They plan to. I think they might fuck that goat. I'm going to be honest with you.
First of all, their name is Savage. And the final quote of this article is, he's hiding from us somewhere, but we're getting closer. We're going to find him, Savage said. So, I don't know. Final thoughts on the Raymondville missing goat, rodeo goat.
I hope that goat is discovered elsewhere and is able to maintain a good life on a very big farm. Assuming it's not been eaten by a coyote or fucked to death by one of the other townsfolk. Never trust a savage. I think that's another big takeaway. Never trust a savage.
Yeah.
Ominous, man.
Also, what are goats for? Like, why would you, like, if you had a farm, milk
and cheese?
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess you make falafels out of them, but I don't eat that shit, man.
You eat falafel? Oh, is that really? Wait, falafels come from goat?
Oh, I don't mean falafel. I mean, okay, I do eat falafel. I eat the hell out of falafel. What I meant is the other thing that they put in the pita that's not falafel when you get a gyro.
Hummus?
No, it's goat.
Wait, what's goat? Oh, like just goat meat?
Yeah, if you don't order falafel, they put goat meat in it.
Oh.
Like if you go to a Greek restaurant and you're like, let me get a gyro, and you don't specify falafel or I guess chicken, they're just going to give you a goat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's on the menu. They're like, what kind do you want? You're like, you surprise me. They're like, all right, we're going to give you goat. We have it in excess.
They have a giant like in most places that most Euro places where like around here, they have like I don't even know what part of the animal it is, but they have it on a little spinning wheel and it spins. And then the guy just takes a knife and like carves little, it's kind of like,
oh, I do like that.
You do like that?
When the giant wheel of meat that they like.
Yeah. They have a giant wheel of meat that they like carve off of.
Yeah. I like seeing that.
Okay. Well, we've learned what goats are for.
I thought that was lamb though.
Are those different? I thought a lamb was just a baby goat.
I don't know. I think they're different.
You know what? You're right. No. Well, what's a sheep? Okay. I know what a sheep is. Is a sheep different than a lamb? A sheep
is a Republican. I get real fucking political on here for no reason.
These fucking sheep are following Donald Trump because they can't think for themselves. Bah!
Okay, wait. So lambs are considered a young sheep, while goats refer to a goat just about any age. Because remember, kids are baby goats.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess what we learned today is that a bunch of people listening to this are like, Jesus Christ, you don't know what a lamb is or a goat?
That's their takeaway. What do goats do?
Yeah, what do goats do?
So they're important producers of meat, milk, fiber, and other products. Brush control, livestock shows, packing, and they're also lively companions. That's why there's goat
I know.
yoga.
Well, I know they're lively companions because that's like they're like probably one of the best petting zoo animals, bar none. They're also
Yeah.
probably the best yoga animal, maybe like that's ever existed. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and shout out that you shouldn't eat goats because they're companion animals. But I I shout out you shouldn't eat all kinds of things that people don't want to hear me say.
What else do you usually shout out to not eat?
I don't think you should eat pigs, man, because
Or they're like mad smart.
they're smarter than dogs. You ever met a
Yeah.
pig?
I feel like
At a Trump rally, a bunch of fucking pigs.
I've met a couple of pigs. It's been a while, but I at one point I thought about getting a pet pig, but they get like huge. They really grow big.
Yeah,
So like if you keep them small, then you're basically like torturing them in a in a weird way. So yeah.
it's weird how not the factory farm world, but like just in the small farm world, which is kind of disappearing a little bit in America. But my mom lived on or her grandparents had like a farm that was like like a self-sustaining farm. It wasn't for selling tons of shit. So they would have a pig, and then my mom would get like really attached to the pigs. They would name them. They would like name the animals, but then like when they would just get hungry, and then they would kill the pig and eat it. And so they'd be like they'd be eating like Wilbur or whatever they named the pig. Isn't that gnarly?
Yeah, it's like eating your cousin you don't know that well.
Yeah, it's like old school farmers have they can compartmentalize.
Yeah. I don't want to say I got into snakes recently, but I got a homegirl who has a pet snake named Ingmar. At a shout out to the Morbid Zoo on YouTube. But this her snake is fucking cool. I didn't know, like I used to be like scared of snakes and stuff because I'm human. Yeah. And they did ruin the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Snakes and women. No. Joking. But yeah, dude, I fuck with snakes now, man. Ingmar is cool as hell. He just like slithers around and stuff. So don't eat snakes, guys. For those of you out there who eat snakes, cut it out, man. I'm a snake advocate now.
Would you consider yourself a herpetologist?
No, I don't even know what that means. I'm not going to consider myself anything I don't know the definition of.
A herpetologist is either a reptile expert or a snake expert. I think it might be all reptiles.
But I don't know shit. I'd be asking questions. I'm like, yo, does he? I was like, the other day I was holding him. I was like, yo, like, does he get mad if I drop? Like, if he fell, would he get mad? She's like, yeah, I think he would. I go, okay. It's like I'm not going to, but I'm just curious. Like, he's moving around a bunch, so I didn't know how the snake operated. I'm like, yo, how often does he eat? Does he sleep? Does he get tired? Does he get mad? She's like, I don't. It's a fucking snake. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a little python.
Do you know what? Do you want to hear about my favorite type of herpetologist?
Yes.
I don't know if you're familiar with these people, man, but like down in Florida, I think it's boa constrictors. Is this like there was like this whole thing in the 90s where people were all getting boa constrictors as pets, and then they get bigger. Same thing happened with alligators and shit. That's why there was all those like rumors about alligators in the sewers, but that's kind of fake. But the boa constrictor shit was real. And people were like, "Oh man, this thing's getting big. I don't want this giant fucking snake." So they would just like throw it outside and like instead of killing it. And they all moved into the Everglades where they're an invasive species and they have no natural predators, and they're like really bad for the Everglades. So like Florida will pay these herpetologist dudes, so they're basically like the gnarliest, crazy swamp dudes that will go out there and like
bash their heads in and stuff, right?
And like single-handedly catch like a 200-pound snake. Like I don't know. That is a gnarly job.
Yeah. There's a show about it, but I don't want to say the show because I don't want to seem like I'm promoting a show.
I know. I had a question for you, and then I realized I'm not allowed to ask it. I was going to ask you kind of like what it's like being a stand-up comedian. That then also, well, no, it's about acting though. I was like,
you can ask about acting. I think it's not. I can't promote but I don't have any like fucking movies coming out. I'm not in Marvel.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just saying like when you do like I've noticed a lot like with like stand-up stuff. It seems like it's kind of like it's almost like a different pathway to acting than it is if you're just like I act. That's it, and you kind of go with like, is that correct, man? Like, is it more like because you just like meet funny people and like kind of just connect in that way and like network that way?
Like starting out or more so in general?
Both, like starting out and in general. Like when you get on a show, is it just because you know the funny people, like because you're all out there doing the same kind of uh like the same life passion?
It honestly varies. So I started out in, God, what was that? 2009, or about 2009, 2010. I was in college at Auburn, and me and a friend, my best friend Josh Mays, aka, we started a group called Tubby and Martin, because I was gonna say aka Tubby, but I was like, they don't know who the fuck Tubby is. They were like, why is he fat shaming this man? That was like his nickname, like growing up. We called him Tubby with an I at the end. So we started this duo and just kind of kept going, man. And and yeah, and it was a thing of like, oh, this place has a show, we should reach out to them. So we send them a message on Facebook, and then someone might see us there and be like, you guys are funny, you should come do my show. And it kind of keeps growing from there until catch enough word of mouth, or enough people like you, or enough people are talking about you, or enough people are seeing your work or seeing that you're funny. Because like when I first started comedy, that's what it was about. Is this person funny? Are they a funny fucking person? Because I've throughout my time, I've seen people like be racist on stage, be homophobic, sex, all the it's right. I've seen people do that, but they were, someone thought they were funny enough to still book them or put them on. And I think that's what's kind of changed now, is like, they're like, oh, this is my friend, I want to put my friend on, or this person is a really good advocate for eating oatmeal, and we need more oatmeal representation, or whatever the case may be. So I think it's changed a lot in that dynamic, but at the end of the day, I think funny is funny, and that's what will always kind of be the thing that puts people forward. Whereas acting, it could be like, oh, that's that dude's son.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a class, yeah.
9 times out of 10. Yeah, so the comedy thing, I understand that more, because like I've had a lot of like experience just as a musician playing shows, and in that world, to me, it's always been like, I'd say it's like 99% just connections and shit. It's like you want to play a bigger show, know the people that are putting on that show, and then have a good relationship with them, and that's more important than being good at what you do.
Yeah,
is like, because I feel like a lot of times, like, people that are dickheads that are very talented have like completely destroyed their own career before it started. So
yeah, or it started and then they destroyed it, or they or they live forever, and then you find out like, oh, what do you mean John Wayne didn't like Native Americans? Yeah, why? Yeah,
dude, I learned so much shit about John Wayne recently. He was a bad man. He was an awful, really bad man. So shout out, no John Wayne.
But here's my thing. I never understand why we would expect John Wayne to be a good man. Like,
oh yeah, well, because he's like portrayed as like this hero that's like always helping people.
yeah, but the people he's helping is he like would just ride into town and be like, all right, I guess I got to murder all these Indians, and that would be the that was like all of his movies. It was like, yeah, of course, in our lens now, the scope would be, oh, that he's clearly the villain. Yeah. But like, I think back then everyone was just like, we fucking love white people. So it was a different, it was more so the brainwashing of America in general than it was, we put the onus on him to be this protector and hero of white America. So I think now it's easy to kind of look back and be like, oh yeah, he was a piece of shit. But back then, yeah, he wasn't like that. You could say that about like anybody who now, Gandhi, Mother Teresa, hella people who were like Rosa Parks wasn't the original person to sit like in the front of a bus. There was another young woman, I can't remember her name now, but she was a mother out of wedlock. So they're like, oh, we don't want her as a representative. Let's have Rosa kind of take on the mantle instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a lot of, and that's not to put that on Rosa. What she still did was great, and like all these people still contributed something to society, but we're at where we're at for a reason. So,
I mean, she also like inspired the best Outkast song.
Yeah, she tried to sue them for that.
No way, she tried to sue Outkast for writing that incrable song.
Yes, she tried to sue them years later.
I'm very surprised to hear that, because it's such a good song. I don't know why she found umbrage with it. I'm curious, man. I might look that up later.
Please do. Yeah, I don't think she. I'm under the assumption she didn't know like the content of the song or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Shit, man. I wanted to say one last thing about John Wayne, and this is the thing about like what I don't like. I mean, like, yeah, you're right, dude. You can go back in history and find anybody make it look worse. But the thing about him, dude, is he like draft dodged World War II, which is like arguably the only like just war America ever fought in. And then like, in the 70s, like 30 years later, or almost 30 years later, he was like going around to high schools trying to get kids to like join the Vietnam War, arguably probably like the worst war and he's like, so I feel like that kind of behavior really can't be, there's nothing redeemable about a person that would do that.
Yeah. Are you on a fight for your country, pilgrim?
Yeah. I was a coward and didn't go to World War II to make my acting career better, but you should go to Vietnam to protect the interests of whatever fucking corporations. Hey, let's go back to the news.
This is the news, baby. We're giving them the nitty gritty about John Wayne.
Yeah. If you like John Wayne, shit, man, keep liking John Wayne. I don't fucking care. I'm not trying to.
He's dead. Here's my
First
thing.
of all,
he's been dead for what, fucking 30 years or something?
And they found 27 pounds of feces in his intestines when he was dead.
Is that real?
Yes. Yeah, like, because all he did was eat like 100 pounds of meat a day. So like when they found him, he had the most shit I think any human being had ever been found with at the time.
That's insane.
Look it up. I'm not making this shit up. It might be even more pounds than that. It was a lot. It was like the size of a small child of pounds of shit in his intestines.
Yeah, so it's a man who died full of shit. Like that's we have no. Yeah, if you still fuck with him, then fuck with him. Do your thing. He's dead. It doesn't matter anymore. We can't do anything about it.
Coming in hot from the Associated Press. More ocean animals fighting back type news. This is not the orcas, but I feel like it's orca adjacent. You might have heard this out there in Cali, dude. The sea otter harassing surfers off the California coast eludes capture as her fan club grows. And I'm in the fan club, let me tell you that. This was written by Haven Daly and Olga Rodriguez. Santa Cruz, California. A sea otter launched into the national spotlight after images of her aggressively wrestling surfboards away from surfers off the coast of Santa Cruz. California circulated on social media as building a fan club as she continues to evade capture. Dude, this is awesome. A team of wildlife experts with the California Department of Fish and Wildlife and the nearby Monterey Bay Aquarium have been trying to capture the 5-year-old animal known as Otter 841 since last week because they say she is a public safety risk. Oh, man, any initial thoughts?
Go Otter. I'm Team Otter.
Yeah, Otter 841. I'm going to get a t-shirt. I'm going to make a t-shirt. This is actually, I'll do with this. I would have like a blank white t-shirt on right now. I'm just going to stencil this Otter 841.
Yeah, like I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 twice, so I stand with the animal community in their battle against the oppressors. May man fall in the name of Otter 8
yeah, dude.
Dash A3B.
Do you think it could be like this? Like orcas are like, they're over there by Spain. They're like bashing yachts, and because orcas are big, man, and they're like really gnarly animals. But do you think like but that's their sphere of influence, and you think maybe like otters have a different sphere of influence? So over here, like off the coast of Santa Cruz, are like, well, this is what I can do for the cause, is I can go out here, and Santa Cruz is a very wealthy place. So what I mean? Like it's not like these are like poor surfers. These are like probably the richest surfers. Yeah. So like these otters are like basically like kind of fighting the power, taking these surfboards away from like, yeah,
these otters are on strike.
the top 1%, the top 1% that surf.
I feel like this is we're slowly gonna find out that Aquaman exists or some shit like that.
Oh, dude, that would be so awesome. I hope it's not the Jason Momoa version, because that was like the most boring ass movie I ever saw.
Yeah, which is great because they have like 4 villains in it. I'm like, how do you fuck this up with this many bad guys?
And the octopus that played drums, dude, that's like when I finally was like,
wait, did that happen, or was that? I thought that was
dude. When they were like, when he has to do like when he has to like joust his like rival for like king of the ocean,
right?
There's an octopus playing drums. It's like it immediately like it turned into like the Little Mermaid for like a significant portion of the movie where I was like, is this like because they keep trying to make it all serious and it's like an Axe body spray commercial for most of the time, and then all of a sudden they're like under the sea. Like they say they want to examine her and relocate her at a zoo or aquarium, as yet to no avail. Good. She now has a growing fan club with people showing up every day to get a glimpse of her spending time sunbathing on the rocky shore, diving in the water, and chomping down on crabs. Fuck yeah. I'm only continuing to like this otter more and more and more. I don't know how you feel.
Especially now that they're like, we're trying to capture her to study her. It's like, nah, man, let that bitch be independent.
The mischievous mammal was made famous by a professional photographer who posted photos and videos on social media that show her aggressively approaching surfers and getting on top of surfboards, on at least one occasion biting and tearing chunks off a board. Damn, dude. I didn't know otters could, because that's like fiberglass.
Yeah, otters are hardcore.
They can't throw a net over her in the water. They can't tranquilize her because of fear of her drowning. So they really need to get her hands on her. So the Santa Cruz photographer, man, why don't they just leave her the fuck alone, dude?
Yeah, at that point, it's like she clearly doesn't want to go with you guys anywhere. Like, especially we as society are talking about autonomy over bodies and all this jazz. Like, she don't want to go. Let her be chill.
They said it is not the first time the otter has been aggressive toward humans. She was observed approaching people in late 2021. Blah, 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 blah. Leave her alone. Hold on. Here, this is what's important. Southern sea otters, whose population dwindled to about 50 in 1938, are managed by the Fish and Wildlife Service. They are listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act and are protected under the Marine Mammal Act and California state law. All right, so leave them alone. That's the bottom line here.
Simple as that. She's chilling. This lesbian otter wants to hang out and sunbathe. And they're like, no, we gotta research why she's destroying our surfboards, brah.
Yeah, brah. Also, if you surf and like you're not, if you're not scared like of a shark getting you, which is like really actually terrifying, then like, you know what? Just like have a little bit of integrity and don't be afraid of an otter and don't fucking bitch about it. And if an otter takes your surfboard, that's like stand up for yourself or just like keep quiet. Don't be a snitch.
Yeah. If an otter broke into my apartment right now and stole my PS5, the story would be, holy shit, an otter broke into my apartment. Not, guys, why did this otter do this? Like, now I look like a bitch because I couldn't stop an otter. You ain't got hands, rich surf dude.
All right, I'm going to finish it off with the end of this little article here. Now with a population of about 3,000, all right, that's better than 50. Sea otters play a fundamental role in maintaining healthy coastal ecosystems by preying on sea urchins that can multiply and eat their way through the kelp forests both marine creatures share, wildlife officials said. So basically just more evidence to leave the otters alone. Or just be like, I'm pro orca, I'm pro otter, hands down.
Yeah, I'm going with the sea life here. I've swam with dolphins and I respect the dolphins. I respect their culture. I respect the people of the dolphin and ocean community. Shout out to the Pacific Ocean, off the coast of Hawaii and all that shit, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to all the ocean over by Santa Monica Beach, Malibu Beach, ocean. I think that's still Pacific, but you get it.
Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to the Mexico? What's it called?
The Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, shout out Gulf of Mexico.
Shout out Gulf. That's where I go to the beach.
Yeah,
I'm in Nashville, man. So it doesn't make I go to California like when I can, but that's I have to get on a plane.
Yeah,
Gulf of Mexico, I could just get there in my Hyundai.
Yeah, shout out to rivers. Rivers are dope.
Rivers.
Lake.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Do otters live in rivers too?
I feel like they do, but I'm not. You're asking me all these animal facts, bro. I'm just I just gave a shout out to the Gulf of Mexico, and I didn't know it was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just said the Mexican water.
The Mexican water. That's. I think what it is like I'm not allowed to ask you about anything like related to like writing or acting. So I'm just like, tell me some animal facts off the top of your head without Googling it. I think that there are definitely freshwater otters. I believe it.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I know there are because I played a video game back in the old day, like when they had Oregon Trail at my school. The other game was called Otter Creek.
Oh,
so booyah! I learned something in school.
That really stuck with you.
it was such a dumb game. But like back then, like all games were pretty shit. Like Super Mario was like the most, or Sonic the Hedgehog was like the most advanced game at that point.
Oh yeah, I used to play Ski Free a lot. Ski Free is my shit.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know? Ski Free was this computer game where you're just skiing down a mountain and you're basically trying to avoid trees and other people, and like you want to like jump off the slopes, and then randomly a Yeti would come out and eat you. But you could avoid it as long as you wanted. And then there was Chips Challenge. Chips Challenge is also my shit. You remember that one?
No, these are not ringing any kind of bell. Are these like Nintendo games?
No, dude, this was like on computers, like PC games.
Oh, PC games. Yeah. No, the only PC games I know are Oregon Trail and Otter Creek.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, and Wolfenstein.
What was the one where like you just kept having to press little squares and then there'd be like a mine underneath them or something?
Oh, Minesweeper.
Minesweeper. That was also my shit.
That's actually a fun game.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like
you can bring that back for the PS5.
Yeah.
Just
what does a PS5 even cost? Like almost like $1,000? I don't even know.
I think mine is like 500.
That'd be so wild to spend $500 on a console and then play Minesweeper on it. And then do the thing too, like where you have like the headphones and you're talking to like some like somebody in Japan and being like, "Fuck you! I just minesweeped." All right, this
the graphics are the exact same. Like they didn't even improve it.
I have one last news story for us to get into. You might have seen this one. This is coming down here from my neck of the woods here in the South, Atlanta. Shout out Atlanta, one of my favorite cities. That's
ATL.
And this was just funny to me. Atlanta man attempts to rob nail salon, gets ignored by everyone. It's I love it. Everybody get down, give me all your money, the man shouted in surveillance footage, but no one really reacted. A man's attempt to rob an Atlanta nail salon last week didn't go as planned, as the patrons basically ignored him. The unidentified subject, with his hand in a bag as if he were holding a weapon, stormed into the nail salon last Monday demanding money. Initial thoughts?
First off, it sounds like my dating life. No, man, I would cry, bro. I would just start crying if I like came in to rob a joint and I was like, ugh, this guy. I would just cry. Like that's what else can you do? Like don't arrest that dude. Like
yeah,
this is sad enough.
It is. It's like nobody showed up to his birthday party. Don't arrest him, man.
Yeah.
I think one of the things too is like I'm gonna go ahead and assume it's like when people like in the old movies where someone like puts their hand like in a trench coat and then they pretend they have a gun and they're like, stick them up. It's like if you have a gun, you would pull it out. Like you wouldn't hide it. So probably everyone in the nail salon was like, this motherfucker with a pretend gun.
Yeah, because I got someone tried to mug me back when I lived in Chicago. This guy had his hand in his shirt like he was holding a gun. And he was like, "Don't try to run," and I just took off running. I was like, "Wow, that could have been a lot worse of a situation."
Yeah, he didn't fool you.
Yeah,
he was like, "What?" He's like, he did the opposite of what I said.
Yeah, like, shit. Oh man, I got to change my tactic for next time.
Yeah, I've been robbed at gunpoint twice, and honestly, man, both times the guns were very visible. And I honestly like it all kind of happens fast, and it's all kind of like I feel like you don't really have time to get like in movies and TV, people are like, oh no, and like in real life, it's really more just like an inconvenience. You're like, fuck, like some dudes, they got my backpack, and I was like, fuck, man, my backpack, like more than
you ever think about all the stuff that's in it.
Yeah, I was thinking all my shit was in there. I was like, fuck, man, took my backpack. The other dudes that robbed me didn't get anything because I had things, but I was just kept lying and said I didn't have anything. I had this I had this cup of ice and back when I used to smoke Camel Wides. And I was like, dude, all I got is this pack of Camel Wides and this cup of ice. You can have it. And I kept trying to hand it to them, and it was making them nervous. And then I kept putting my hands in the air, like over my head, and they kept telling me to put my hands down. It was like, it must have been the most frustrating robbery they've ever perpetrated in their lives, because they gave up and they said, forget this ever happened. And because they were robbing me. I was on foot. They were in a car, and they drove off. They were like, "Fuck this!" Like,
Yeah, they're like, "Yo, we should go get jobs." Yeah, let's go to the post office.
Can you imagine how much more money we would have if we had jobs?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I used to have a dummy wallet.
Oh, damn, that's smart.
Yeah, so I'd have one wallet where I'd put like maybe like if I needed like $20, I'd put a 10 in that wallet just in case, because I didn't live in like the safest of areas and stuff. Where I would have to commute on trains and buses and shit like that, and stay out late at night. So I was like, okay, so I have this one wallet where if someone wants to or tries to rob me, or if they try to pickpocket, because there's a lot of pickpocketers there too. If that happens, then at least they can have that. I'll have what I need. I'll pretend I feel like sometimes you can be like, no, you're not taking my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
And hopefully they understand, but sometimes they don't. But
that's the thing is I'd rather they get my wallet than my phone, because usually like I'm like, you can have, like, I can get another wallet, but like phones are like, I mean, that's kind of a hard loss, and it's like worth nothing to them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, actually, I don't really know the ins and outs of that, but I feel like you could just get the can't you just track your phone?
You can, yeah. They have a Find My Phone.
Yeah. What I say is I go, do you know who my father is? That's how I avoid robberies.
I used to try to come up with scenarios of like, well, my dad is the police chief and they'll find you. I don't know. Da, 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 da. But it never, knock on wood, it never got there. Yeah. So hopefully
my dad is the dude from Taken.
You might have heard of my father, Mr. Neeson.
Mr. Liam Neeson, Darkman. The salon owner even decided it was okay to answer the phone during the attempted robbery while the customer casually stood up to go outside. Eventually, the humiliation appeared to be too much for the suspect, who left the salon in a silver-colored sedan, according to law enforcement. Damn, what did we learn?
Shame more criminals.
Yeah.
If you, and it's like the old saying, if you just ignore it, it'll go away. Like that's basically what this is. Just if you ignore someone robbing you, or whatever, someone's like, I'm gonna murder you. Like, okay. Just, like, oh, I guess now I don't want to kill you anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta mock them. I'm gonna murder you. That's what you sound like. I'm gonna murder you.
Oh, I'm sad. I have to kill other people. Go do it yourself, you pussy.
Dude, sometimes you just ignore shit and it does go. Even things like I had a toothache and I was like, great. I'm gonna have to get like this really important tooth pulled out of my head. I was so bummed. I went to the dentist and he was poking it and I was like, ow. And then he was like, oh, it does hurt. And then they x-rayed my teeth to like see if there was like a cavity or some shit. And he's like, there's nothing wrong with your tooth. And I was like, so what does that mean? He's like, and it was kind of like a philosophical dentist. And he was like, man, sometimes in life, a tooth just hurts. And I was like, shit. And then I left. And then like about 2 months later, it stopped hurting and it never hurt again. So I guess really what I'm trying to say, everyone, is, ignore your problems until they go away.
Yeah. Was your dentist Bagger Vance?
No, I don't know. Who's that?
Bagger Vance. It's like an old Will Smith like movie.
No, I haven't seen that, man.
Oh, okay. That was the end of that joke.
Damn, I fucked that one up. I'm sorry. But
no,
that's okay.
No, sorry.
I got some more animal talk for you right here, because guess what, Martin? We are getting dangerously close to the lightning round. I'm gonna tell you how the lightning round works. This is where I ask you a series of questions super fast. You don't have any time to think. You just have to answer. Gut reaction. Obviously, we've been talking a lot about orcas, otters, fighting back against, like yachts and Santa Cruz. So this lightning round is which animal should lead the uprising against ... And I'm going to name the thing, and you're going to decide which animal should be like allocated to that purpose. Okay. First one, golf courses.
What's the all right. Gophers.
Yeah, dude. Have you ever seen Caddyshack?
Part of it. It didn't do anything for me.
Me either. But I recall that Bill Murray talks to a gopher throughout the film.
Yeah, that's why I let them lead the revolution.
Yeah. All right. Country clubs. So the other part of the golf course.
Bulls.
Yeah, just let bulls just loose in there. Ooh, debutante balls.
Peacocks.
Yeah, just go through and like just be like way more flashier and more fun to look at. This one I really do hope an animal does stick up for us here. Logan Paul exhibition boxing matches.
Kangaroo.
That would be amazing if a kangaroo just bounced in and just knocked him the fuck out, knocked that smirk off his face. Ugh. TikTok hype houses.
TikTok hype houses. Boa constrictors, but the ones from Florida who got let loose.
That'd be wild. Yeah, to get all the herpetologists to get all the boa constrictors and then bring them over to like I guess Beverly Hills or wherever they have the hype houses. Actually, they got plenty of them in Florida. Fuck it. Just drive them over to Miami. All right. Legacy college admissions.
Gorillas.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite animals.
They're pretty cool.
And this is going to be a little bit controversial. Mission trips for the gram.
Mission trips for the gram.
Like when people like they just go on a mission trip just so they can get a picture of themselves like holding like an African baby and be like, I saved Africa.
Oh yeah. Every big cat, lions, tigers, leopards, panthers, everything, all of them, let them loose.
Yeah, just everybody goes over there to be like, just snapping like tons of selfies with like kids that are not helping and schools are not really actually helping to build, and then just get mauled by a leopard. That'd be amazing.
If they don't move a certain amount of of wood, then they let loose a tiger.
Man, I feel like we've learned so much about animals today, but I have one last question to ask you, and it's the most important question of the day. Martin, where can people find you, follow you, check out your comedy? And I know there's a lot of things that you're not allowed to promote, but obviously comedy is not one of them, right?
That's true.
All right. So hell yeah.
Please check out my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, at Martin M. Morrow, spelled like tomorrow, at Martin M. Morrow. If you want to see some clips of my stand-up as well, give me a follow at onlyfans.com/Martin Morrow Comedy. I'm going to be on OFTV for LMAOF very soon, so make sure to check that out. And I got some shows coming up in LA. I got some stuff coming up in Arizona, in Detroit. I'm going to be all over for the remainder of the summer and early fall. So if you have any questions, comments, if you liked me, if you hated me, whatever, just slide in the DMs. I talk to everybody who isn't trying to make me buy a bunch of Instagram followers.
Oh yeah, guys. If Martin's like in your town, go check him out. I promise you won't be disappointed. And I'll try to like make sure and share your calendar up on some of my socials too, just for listeners that are like following me.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Martin, thank you so much for being on the show, dude.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.